everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Who is joining me on tonight's episode? Who is joining me on tonight's episode of the Essence Pre-Conference Conversation? Who is joining me? Who is on? First of all, I have to apologize for coming late. I couldn't come earlier because I did something very, very pertinent, very important. But I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that I get to have this conversation with you. Good evening, everyone. Waiting for you to join. Who is here? Drop a comment. Let me know who's watching. Where you're watching me from? Um, what part of Nigeria are you in? What part of the world are you in? What part of Lagos are you in? Just let me know. I want to, give you a shout out before we start. I'm super excited for tonight's session. So for those of you who didn't know, from the 1st of May, in fact, our plan in May was to have the Essence Pre-Conference conversation every Thursday and Sunday. I know some of you might be wondering, oh, why are we doing this conversation now instead of a Sunday? We have another session on Sunday because the Essence Conference is a little over 2 weeks to go, about 15 days to go. That is when the Essence Conference will be. That is 1st of June. So we are, taking this time to incentivize you to let you know that it is coming up. And if you miss it, let me not say just don't miss it, right? Don't be told about it. Essence Conference is the intervention that we need right now. It is the breath of fresh air that we need, especially in this time. That's why I'm coming to you. I'm one of those who stay, one of those people who stay in a place and complain and wish things were better or point fingers. I try to look at how I can, bring a solution to a problem that I identify or a need that I identify. And the Essence Conference is one of our ways of doing that. So if you're watching me, this is Essence Pre-Conference Conversations. Here I bring on thought leaders that I have been privileged to not just see what they do, but I've worked with them up close. I've had conversations with them. I have met them beyond the world of social media, and they are individuals who are genuinely expressing themselves in an authentic way. There are people whom you will meet and you know that this person is living, is really, really living. So tonight I will be bringing on a very wonderful young man whom I've been privileged to meet on many occasions, whom I call brother, whom I call friend. He is the founder of Go Nomad. I'll be reading his bio shortly. But before I do that, I want to invite you to the Essence Conference taking place on the 1st of June 2022. Who is excited? Who is excited? The hall will be full, so you don't want to come and stay at the back. You better register now and make sure to come early on that day. Registration doesn't mean that because you registered first, you'll be attended to first, even if others come before you. No. If you register and you come late, you'll be treated as a late comer. So as you're registering now, you make sure that you also attend early on the day of the event. So the Essence Conference is taking place on the 1st of June at the University of Lagos at the Tayo Aderinonku. I'm sorry if I project that lecture theater at the University of Lagos on the 1st of June. And our theme is the spark of reinvention. If you've been trying to maybe reinvent yourself, you are stuck, you feel confused, you don't even know where you are, you can't really place your hands at or on what you should be doing at this point in your life, or how you can go about certain aspects of your existence, this is the event for you. If you're a business owner, you're a career professional, you are a creative, an expert, you need to be at the Essence Conference for many reasons, more than 3, 4, 5. I could start listing them out now, but we don't have the leisure or time to do that. Other than I, other than you knowing that Essence Conference is the conference you want your employees to attend, even as a business leader. You need to attend it, but you also want your employees to attend so that they can be inspired to create and innovate from a place of authenticity. All right. If you are a creative, you want to be at SS conference because you'll be getting the spark to create from a place of authenticity and genuine expression, right? So who is watching me? Let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know where you're watching me from. Don't be a ghost watcher, please, or a ghost viewer. Let me know where you're watching me from. So we have three ticket tiers. The first one is the standard ticket, which gives you access to the event. And James is watching. Good to have you, James. Always here. James did not just get his ticket to the conference; he got his ticket to the boot camp taking place on the 2nd of June, right? So, James, I'm just so excited to meet you again, and I'm so proud and inspired by how much you invest in growth. It's so inspiring to see. Thank you so much for supporting SS Conference by registering. That is a big deal. Thank you very much. All right. So the standard ticket gives you access to the event physically or virtually. So some people were having issues understanding the standard ticket. It gives you access to the event physically or virtually, okay? And you get access to event recordings when you register. After the event is over, you get access to the recordings. Okay. Then moving on, we have the premium ticket, which is 50,000 naira. And this ticket, you have all that is the standard ticket, but you also get access. You get a complimentary copy of my book, Dear Young One, which will be launched on that day. So the second edition of Dear Young One. Orital has started printing the book, and I cannot wait for you to hold this beauty, hold this masterpiece, and learn and gain insight from the book and letters that I've written. So you'll be getting that, and then also conference materials as well if you register for the premium ticket. Again, and then we have the gold ticket, which is 50,000 naira. It is mostly for the Essence Bootcamp, but if you pay for that ticket, you get complimentary pass to the Essence conference, and you also get all the benefits of the premium category. So you pay 50,000 naira, you gain access to the Essence Bootcamp, you also get access to the Essence conference, get complimentary copy of the book, complimentary event materials, and all that. It is going to be beautiful. There will be red carpets, guys. We have we have planned a lot for you, and I cannot wait to have you. So, who are we going to be having at the Essence conference? These phenomenal and amazing individuals showing on your screen here. We have Coach Cuomo, who I love and cherish, and I'm really inspired by his work. We have Jetunde Bankole Bernard, the wife we call her identity coach. She is amazing. She's somebody you want to sit and listen to. And then we have Danny J. O. Jonobidi. You all know him. Some of you know Leonas and as all of you know who Danny J. O. is. But Jonobidi is somebody you want to see. He's a thought leader that you sit with or sit and listen to, and your brain will just reset automatically. And then there is me, of course. Then we have Daniel K, who is one of the most brilliant content creators that I know. Very vulnerable, very human in his content creation style. I love him, but I cannot wait for him to share with you how to create content, how to utilize your essence for creating brilliance. And then we have the beautiful Edirin Edewo, whom we will be having on the 1st of June. Edirin will be taking you on how to find and flourish in your place of genius. I look forward to this session. I always join Edwin's sessions, anywhere she posts her sessions, and you get the privilege of listening to her at the Essence conference. And then we have the beautiful, audacious, and wonderful Ijoma Dinta, whom is a young person that I really love and admire her expression, how audacious she is in her expression of her genius. She'll be taking you on how to balance youthful ambitions. It's going to be massive, it's going to be amazing. So if you want to be an outstanding personality, someone who stands out anywhere you find yourself in, then you want to be at Essence Conference. And that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to be, outstanding. So if you're not outstanding yet, you're not living in your essence fully. Because your essence is your gateway to outstanding expression, right? I mean, that sounds like a lot of English, but it is what it is. If you want to register, you can pay into the account numbers showing on your screen. This is the standard ticket, standard ticket, this is the premium ticket, this is the gold ticket. So if you want to pay through transfer, you can pay to the account details showing on your screen here. Pay into the account details showing there. Send your proof of payment to ticket.essence@gmail.com. Ticket.essence@gmail.com. Okay? And then if you want to pay through automated means, you can visit www.essenceconference.com to get your tickets, right? To read more about the conference and make your right decision. I cannot wait to see you at the conference. We are cooking a one of a kind meal. It's not even because I'm hosting the conference. Tell me another conference that has been hosted strictly to help you find your genius and flourish in it. That's what the Essence Conference is about. I mean, not to talk down on money making conferences, but if you don't get this right, fundamentally, what do you want to build? If your foundation is faulty, any other thing you want to build, any other block you're laying on that um, false foundation is not going to stand, right? So if you want to live a life that is outstanding, a life that fulfills you, a life that gives you peace of mind, then you want to be at Essence Conference. On the 1st of June, don't be told about it. Don't be told about it, okay? So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of having the founder of Go Nomad, the founder of Go Nomad, the founder of Go Nomad, to join us here. Hello, Favor Otto. It's good to have you watching from Cross Rivers. One Nesri is watching from Abuja. It's good to have you here. Let me quickly read the bio, just a brief part of the bio. Okay. Uke Enun Jr. is an innovator in the tech industry who serves as the visionary CEO of Go Nomad, a leading software platform enabling global commerce for businesses, powering them with tools to sell and transact internationally. Uke is an exceptional performer with diverse talent and a burning passion for entrepreneurial solutions. Since his early days at the university, he has dedicated his ideas to constructing business models to achieve scale from any part of the world. At 21, Uke founded Go Nomad. At 21, Uke founded Go Nomad with a mission to enable African businesses sell and deliver their products and services internationally with ease. Under his leadership, Go Nomad has soared to unprecedented heights, securing partnerships with industry giants and significantly boosting international trade for African businesses. Uke's commitment to innovation is evident in Go Nomad's intuitive products, aiming over arming over 300 merchants with global commerce tools and in turn collectively driving billions of dollars in international sales revenue. I could go on and on. He is lauded and recognized as a beacon of hope for the next generation of entrepreneurs and leaders in industry, in technology and business. A visionary and innovator, Uke Enun Jr. continues to define the future of business and technology, leaving an indelible mark in the industry and establishing his legacy as a trailblazer in the digital age. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do it. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, with a fireful clapping ovation, join me to welcome our guest. Okay, Junior, I'll not bring him on until I see your fireful emoji. Let me see it in the comments. Set the comment section on fire. Let's all give him a very warm welcome. Like if you hear him speak, you will understand why he is on this show. Last week we had a mind blowing session. This week you are not ready for what is coming. Trust me. You are not ready for what is coming. Anointed Ike, I see you were here last week. Good to have you here. Thank you so much. Where are the rest? James Abobade. Abobade. I hope I got it right second time. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, meet our guest, Uke Junior.
Hello. Hi, hi. Hello, beautiful people. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Good evening. It's good to be here.
Good to have you. See how I'm feeling like the host of this show.
It's an
Thank
excellent
you
time. It's
so
an excellent
much.
time. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I appreciate the platform. It's amazing. And thank you to everybody, of course, who has tuned in so far and the many more millions that are on the way. Tonight is going to be amazing. Oh. I mean,
It is.
I can't oversay it, right? It just is what it is, right?
It is. Just a Chineke watching from bottom. Hi, Lucy. Feel Michael Stephen. It's good to have you.
Yeah, feel that name sounds familiar. Yeah, this particular name sounds a bit familiar. Seems I've seen that name on but good to have you. Good to have you, kind sir. You seem familiar. Good to have you.
I did not hear this. I did not hear this. Yes, it's good to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Yes,
What
we are here.
what an inspirational person you are.
Thank you.
I have I said I did not see that person. I did not hear anything.
Oh, he's a back end developer. That's interesting. Yeah, I knew the name sounded a bit familiar. Yeah.
Philip Hanston is watching from Canada. Good to have you, Philip.
Hi, Philip. Good to have you, bro.
Conversation with Oni. Oni, good to have you here too. Thank you. See, as I said, see, okay, I have been privileged to connect with you and see your work. To say it is inspiring is a very big understatement. Like a very big understatement. In your bio, it's read that at 21, you founded Nonoman, and it has continued to grow. It has continued to expand.
Absolutely.
And one thing about your expression of your genius, because I made sure that with every single person that is invited to speak here is someone who is aware and very confident in the expression of their genius, and you've embodied that so beautifully. So I really want to know, just maybe in 2 minutes, how how are you doing it? How did you do it? How is it that at 21, I mean, this is not in the question that I had planned to ask you, but just as an introduction, so that and my audience can also get to know you better. How did you get to the point of hosting or founding not just an international, a multinational company? Please tell us.
Tough one, easy one at the same time. I love the question. And I love that note, that starting note, right? I love it because I think it's a story that tells or shares the story of essence itself, right? And I remember, telling people at different points in time in my life when I said to them, I made a decision sometime in 2016. Um, I told myself that it appears that we know what we want and we are going to stop at nothing until we get exactly that. And we will try nothing else until we get that. And it was a very risky decision and a very risky um, conversation to have with oneself, right, at such an age. So I told myself that listen, I was going to chase the opportunities of the modern economy until something worked, and I wasn't going to touch any other thing. So it didn't matter what I was studying in school at the time. It didn't matter. So many things didn't matter. I just felt like with all I knew and with all that I was becoming, I was going to stop at nothing until I had created something using what was now available, using all of the things I was now exposed to, right? And I enjoyed doing it in the sense that I felt like I was in my zone and my place, and I didn't need any motivation. I didn't need any outside force, right? There was a heightened sense of an internal drive that felt at peace, that felt at home, that felt like this is where we need to be, this is what we need to be doing. And so it was just a matter of how do we keep doing this because this is what we want to wake up every morning to do, right? And I'd say being in that place, being in that state of mind, right, where there was almost nothing that could turn my mind away from what it is that I wanted. I feel like it was an amazing experience. I think that was the trigger. That was a huge contributor because every day, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, every single day. It didn't matter what I did in the day, whether I was going to school, whether I was going to church, whether I was whatever it was. The second I had 2 minutes with myself, I was just going to keep learning about how to create things that would solve other people's problems using what was available in my generation, right? And of course, that's to a large extent is the digital technologies that exist. And so I was obsessed. I felt like that was a place I wanted to be. I felt great in that place. Okay. And I was very confident. I knew that I have found what I want. I felt I came alive, you know. Everything else was great to do, but doing this one thing was the world. So I came alive. So every second I had that I could spend doing it, I did it. Right. And I did it for as long as I could, not caring about any immediate rewards. I just knew that eventually something is going to click because it's the right thing, it's a valuable thing, it's a viable thing. So just give it time. And here we are.
Wow. Wow. With how you are talking so calmly, I feel like you are in house. That's really wow. Really wow. I like that. until something worked. But how do you know? Did you remain at creating a particular thing? Were there times
Yeah.
when you, even though it's still within the broader scheme of what you want to do, were there times you had to shift to create something else? Because some people will be like, okay, I'm not going to create, I'm going to remain here until it works. But some of them will remain there for 10 years, 20 years, and it's not working. So how do you know? I know this is not even part of the conversation, but I'll just flow with the energy, right? How do you even know when to pivot and when to stay?
Hmm. I think that's a very valid question, actually. So, yes, of course, I had a billion and one things that I tried, right? It was never one thing. I probably cannot count right now on top of my head, but I know I tried at least four, five different things in that time period, right? If not six or more. So, um, the goal for me was about creating experiences for other people. So my north star it's about building solutions that serves the world, right? And so I'm very obsessed with how to solve problems, right? And so I was always trying to pick problems and find opportunities within problems. Now, of course, if you're starting out, you don't have the sharpest of minds yet. You don't have the most clear visions, but you have a start, right? You have a start and you can keep going. And the thing with starting and moving and realizing that yes, sometimes you need to pivot is that you're picking up lessons along the way. Like I mentioned, I tried a gazillion amount of things. And when I mean gazillion, I just mean there were lots of them, right? And so, yeah, did I have to dump some of them on the roadside? Yes, absolutely. Because you must be able to balance your visions and what you think and what you hope and what your expectations are with practicality, right? So you start out doing one thing, but the goal when you start out is to learn, right? You want to learn as much as possible. And for me, I sought to learn in a cross-functional manner, right? I mean, I had all of this time on my hands. I'm not yet even in my prime, and I felt like they said it would just make the most sense to spend and commit time to learning as much as possible because my mind's at its sharpest, edge right now, and I believe that I can assimilate way so much more. And all of this, when put together, will be able to help me contribute and put out a better finished product. If you start something today and it is not able to morph into something else tomorrow, then what was the essence of starting? Essence. I did something there, right? What was the essence of starting in the first place? Okay. So you must realize that some things will change. Okay. As you start out, you might just realize that, listen, this particular thing is not as viable as it should be. And so certain factors I had to use were valuability and viability, right? Valuability and viability, two separate concepts. If you're thirsty right now and you want water, there's somebody else who might be thirsty and wants a soda, right? Both of you are thirsty and you're seeking to quench that thirst through two different, experiences. One wants a drink, one wants just water. Okay, so you'll be wrong of me to think that soda is not valuable. It is valuable in that instance to
Yeah.
somebody, right? While for you, water is valuable. However, does it mean that I have to necessarily go into creating as many bottles of water as possible? Would that be viable, right? Or would it make more sense, right, to go into expressing myself through creating as much soda because there's just way much more demand for soda. And so you want to make sure that as much as trying to do something that is valuable, putting something out there that is valuable in the world, right, in the space where you operate, it's important to also consider viability. There's valuability and there's viability. Is there enough? Is this worth my time? And so sometimes we lead with our hearts and we just think, oh my God, this is so valuable. Somebody's going to appreciate it. Yes, that's great. And you go after it, you go after it, you go after it, you go after it. And you get to so many roadblocks and you're thinking, wait, should I continue? Should I continue? And you keep reassuring yourself that because it's valuable, it's viable. It might not necessarily be viable. It just might be valuable. Some things that we do might just be a one-off thing, and we must also realize that some things that we do we're just supposed to do for a short period of time. And paying attention to the things that you do in its in-depth sense would give you knowledge for a new season. So as you keep exploring whatsoever thing it is that you're doing, it's not only in the doing, right? It's in the experience of doing whatsoever it is that you do that you figure out the next thing and the next level. Because I mean, we're all growth focused people, right? We say we have a growth mindset. And so growth mindset is not how many more times can I do a particular thing. It's in how many new ways, new levels, new systems, new experiences can I create out of this thing that I'm interested in. And so maybe
Mm,
this thing that you're doing right now, you're expressing it as this, as soda, but you want it as water. Hey, it's still a drink. Just make it into water, and we would appreciate it more than we would if it were to be soda, right? So that's the thing with valuability and viability as a person that has an expression, right? So you must. That's where pivoting comes in. That's where learning comes in. That's where systems come in. All of that is meant to shape your experiences as you go. So don't only be led with the value that you bring. Also let viability lead you, right? Also be led by the viability of the thing. Okay, so if you create art, right, is it just valuable to you? Oh, it looks that's great. Is there an experience in which we would appreciate it more? Maybe create that as well, because that's just
yeah.
viable. You cannot tell me that you don't need viability, you just need valuability. Come on. Are you Bill Gates yet? No. So that means you most likely need viability, right? So unless you have like, you know, um, a ridiculous amount of backing, you know what we mean by backing, where you really don't have to care about viability, then that's great, right? But if you are like most of us, still on the journey, right? Getting to the point where we shouldn't care about viability anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to consider it, right? You have to consider you have to it has to be focused. And truth be told, there's no point in your life really that you get to where you're just like, oh, this is just this is what I care about. Okay, so those are two concepts that I believe help shape the point of my journey, right? I realized that there was going to be a lot of learning needed. And so let me just give some context here. If you have any knowledge about digital marketing, okay, just gonna break it down real simple. And you go into this thing called Meta Ads Manager, Facebook Ads Manager, as some people like to call it. There used to be a time when you create an advertising campaign online, Facebook will tell you that this ad campaign, advertising campaign, is currently what is called a learning phase, which means it's learning the best ways to serve. So when you start out doing something, when you put into something, you must recognize that learning phase. The problem is we are mixed, we launch out into the crowd where there's everybody at different spheres at different levels. And so you're thinking that what's possible for them is immediately possible for you. What's possible for person A is not necessarily immediately possible for you. It's possible for
Yeah.
you. It might just not be immediately possible for you. So you would be wrong to think that their own application of it would also be the same copy paste for you, forgetting that there must be a learning phase. If there was no essence for learning, for that learning phase, where you get to really make the right decisions and know whether this is worth it or not, then there will be no real success. There will be nothing to say it was worth it because everybody could just skip that phase. But that's the barrier to entry, right? That's the barrier to entry where you get to move along, make mistakes, learn, and decide, is this valuable? Yes. Is this viable? Maybe no, maybe yes. What then do we do? Right? And so you must come into that reality. You must come into um, that realization exactly, right? Of valuability and viability, right? So is it valuable? Is it viable? And then you make a decision whether or not to keep going at it. Because you obviously don't want to be consistent and persistent at the wrong thing. You want to be
Yeah.
consistent and persistent at the right thing. But how do you know? Valuability, viability. So you must always review both as you go, review both as you go. And then sometimes it might warrant a pivot. And you do that unapologetically, right? You mentioned at the start of the conversation, you said reinvention, not being afraid to reinvent. Reinvention is a part of that process where you say you want to pivot, you want to go somewhere else. You are the leader, it's you that is the creator, right? You are the one creating the experiences. So whatever you decide to do, our job is to follow you, right? Sometimes people don't want to disappoint other people, so they stay doing something that's not viable, albeit it's valuable, and you keep doing it and keep doing it just so you could keep getting some applause from a few people who say, "Yeah, thank you very much, that's great," instead of actually taking the lessons from value and viability and making the right decision. And so, yeah, I think those were two concepts that I had to open my heart to, right? And let's be a very good determinant of how I would shape that journey.
That was, I don't know, some person said that my voice was low. Please, if my voice is more audible now, please let me know in the comments, okay?
Yeah, I believe it's
Uh,
more audible now.
that was a mini masterclass that you gave, and it is so applicable and dynamic in that it can be applied in any sphere and at any point in time, right? Wow. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. I mean, if you share the
Oh,
grace now, I think they are bringing value because you just run with this and you know, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing right now, my business, my this and that. It might be valuable to you, but if you now check whether it is viable, it might not be. So you know it's automatic pivot they have to do.
yeah.
It's more like what we do in psychology, validity and reliability, right? An instrument might be reliable, but it's not valid. It might be valid, but it's not reliable. Both have to work hand in hand for it
Yes.
to make sense, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, Lucy says my audio is much better now. Oneness says I'm audible
Awesome.
now. Okay. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow. Okay, so let's get on to essence conference conversation, the pre-conference conversation
Yes.
proper. I wrote down a couple of questions for you. Now, it's not specific to you. None of them is specific to you. They are general questions that I ask all the guests that have come on this show, but their responses have been really, really interesting. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say about them.
Yeah.
So,
Let's
to
go.
kick this off, we are discussing essence. So, let me
Yeah.
know, what does essence mean to you as an individual?
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So if you unravel essence, there is first an existence before you have essence. Okay.
Yes.
If you don't exist, you can't, there can't be a reason. So with existence comes presence, but with
Yes.
essence comes experience, right? So let's start from existence. If you're watching this call right now in 2024 and beyond, you currently exist. I don't care what you tell yourself, you currently, at the very least, exist. You're actually alive. Newsflash, you're alive. You exist, right? You
Yes.
exist Congratulations, you're existing. And so your presence is here. Okay? We can touch you, we can see you. However, when it comes to essence, all we're talking about is how we can experience you. So remember what I said. When you unravel essence, there's an existence. And with existence comes
Yes.
presence. And with essence comes experience. And so, how do I find my purpose? How do I don't know what to do. All of that is simply saying, how can I let the world experience me using my skills, using my talents, using my gifts? That's it. It's not complicated. That's how I see essence. How am I going to be experienced? And how would I experience the world? That's the summary. How are people going to experience me? And how am I going to experience the world? And so, how are people going to experience me? Gifts, skills, talents. You can acquire the skills, but the talents, you got to really look inward. You have to spend time with yourself. You have to spend time with yourself to figure out that weird part of you that strikes a chord with the rest of us. It's there. Okay. And when it comes to how you would experience the world, now you're beginning to talk about what you hold dear because everybody cannot see the world the way you see it. You cannot even see the world the way everybody sees it. You just go crazy. And so, do you want to be someone who's empathetic or someone who's Raz? Do you want to be someone who is kind or someone who's mean? Do you want to be someone who's, those are all things that you determine for how you want to experience the world, right? If you're in Lagos traffic, do you want to come down and fight or do you want to get home safely? It all just depends. It's all part of your essence, right? So that's essence, okay? And I like to start with, you know, revealing that word so that you first find its two branches. Okay, there is the existence of you, which is basically just your presence. You wake up every day, you take a bath, you go to work, you go to school, you go to church, you play music, you do this, you pay your rent. Yeah, cool. Everybody can do that. But your essence is the experience of you, right? And the experience through you. So, how are we going to see the world? What would you change about us, right? As we experience. Okay, so what gifts are you going to be exploring that would help somebody else see the world in a different light? What talents would you be tapping into? Okay, and then what skills would you acquire to make sense of this world, to make sense of yourself, right? What are those things exactly? And then how would you as a person now experience the rest of the world? Because the rest of the world is still a lot of people, and each of them bringing their essence to the table. And so, how do you choose to interact with it all? How do you choose to see it all? How do you choose to experience it all? Essence is about the experience. It's the experience of you and the experience through you, the rest of the world. So that's exactly how I like to navigate it. And I've broken it down so it doesn't sound like a lot of words. Okay. I said existence is simply your presence. Okay. And it comes before essence. You're just here. You're on this earth, right? You exist. We can see you. We know your name, right? But beyond knowing your name, the essence of you is the experience of you. And I did mention, right, that it consists of your gifts, talents, your skills, and you can acquire the skills, right? But you have to look inward, spend time with yourself. Listen, the world has a program for you from birth, and you must know that. But I'd argue it's not exactly designed for you or with you in mind. It's actually a template
Yeah.
for all of us. And so when you start having these kind of conversations, when you start having the essence conversations, that's when you now need to spend time with you. So attend the conference on June 1st and draw and spend time with you to figure out, okay, what's going to be my experience of this world? How would people experience me? How would I experience the world? What gifts do I have? What talents do I have? What skills can I acquire? That's what it is. And once you have your answers, because if you don't ask the right questions, you're not getting the right answers. So it's not, I don't know what my purpose is. I hear that a whole lot. No, 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 no. Nobody knows what your purpose is. So
Yeah.
telling us doesn't solve your problem, right? The right question is, what exactly am I doing here? What's the essence of me here? And so I've helped you break it down into two simple things. It's the experience of you, how we experience you, how you experience the rest of us. And that's it. And how would we experience you? Your gifts, your skills, your talents. How would you experience the world? Your culture. That's it. So that's what my code of essence is. And that's how I, break it down to navigate life in general. So I hope that helps somebody.
I'm certain. Guys, can we share the grace now? This is a very unique perspective that I have. Is it brooded now or bred upon? English. I have thought about this perspective. I've reasoned with it. I've meditated on this. But see, I brought my pen and my jotter because you brought a different perspective. Like it's what I know, but you said it in a way that made more sense, right? Essence is not just someone says so if essence is how the world experiences me. That is how of what it is. It is also how you experience the world. It is you first before we experience you. How you experience the world, and then how you let us experience you. That is so powerful. I could not have put it any better. Thank you so much for breaking it down in a way that is chewable and everyone
Mm,
in attendance can understand it. Uju says, this is incredible. I'm sure it was. It just has to be. That is one of the most beautiful definitions of essence that I have heard on this show. Thank you so much, Uke. Yeah, I told you that when he comes on, you understand why he's here. And this is just the definition that we are talking about. We've not even gone into the conversation proper. And there's already awakening, or let's say enlightenment. Thank you so much. Thank you.
thank you.
So I am very curious. You
Hmm.
are very, and it's not flattery. It is who you are. It is what you are very aware of your uniqueness, and you show up that way. So I'm very much interested in knowing whether this has always been you, or
Hmm.
if at some point you decided, okay, this is going to. So it's following your definition of essence, right? Has this always been you? Have your people, because now the world is beginning to experience you, but growing up, have the people around you always experienced you this way? Or did you at some point decide, okay, this is how I want to be experienced? This is how I want to experience the world, right? So if you've always been this way, I really want to know about your childhood because that's where it starts. It must have been a very interesting one. But if at some point you decide, okay, I do not like the way I'm being experienced and the way I'm experiencing, I don't mind me. I'm going to use it so much. I'm going to use it so much, even during the Essence conference. Um, did you at some point decide, okay, I don't like the way I'm experiencing the world, and the way the world is experiencing me. I want to choose a different way that's more aligned to
Mhm.
what I think I am here for. So let me know. And if at some point you decided that this is how you want to be experienced, what happened? How did you get to that
Hmm. Wow, wow, wow. That's a question that hits close to home, right? And I think for me, it wasn't exactly always this way. There were unique dots at different points, but I had to make the decision to keep crafting an experience at different points. I remember one of the more significant points or most significant points was 2016. It was such a pivotal year. Was 2016. I remember that was the time when I made yet another decision, but this time with more um, certainty and with a greater resolve, right? To craft an experience, a new experience for me and the world through me, right? So 2016, I believe, was that year, and why exactly that happened? What was the trigger moment? Interestingly, it was when I saw somebody else living out their own essence. So that's just hit me directly. And I was like, wait, hold up. So you're telling me that no matter like the age, no matter what you are doing at a particular time, you can just decide to start doing this, start, being this way. I was like, okay, all right. So I guess that's my cue, right? To also make my own decision to say, I don't have to wait till, because at the time, again, remember I said, there's a template. If you don't figure this thing out, don't worry. There's filling the gap. It's a template, right?
point?
You don't have
Yes.
to stress. It's a template, right? For you to just copy paste. All right. So guys, y'all don't know what to do, right? Cool. Yeah, I just follow this path. So that's what I was doing, right?
Yeah.
Just following along. They said we should do this one by this time. I've done my own. Oh. They said when we're at this age, we think about this one. Okay, we wait. They said when we get to that point, we should do this one. All right. So, but then when I saw somebody else doing something that I deemed extraordinary, I deemed out of the template. And so instantly I knew that this was the person's essence. This was them living themselves out. This was them creating an experience, right? And this was a self determined design. And so I said to myself, I want that too. I want that too, right? The ability for me to say, wait, um, I could learn about stuff and share with the world if I wanted to. Yeah, I like that. Oh, this culture, I want that. So just seeing that, being lived out through another person. Remember, I said essence is what? Your experience of the world and the world's experience of you. And so
Yeah.
me seeing somebody else's experience, experiencing someone else, triggered mine. And so I thought to myself, okay, I believe I too, if this person can do it, that means it's also available for me. I can now decide how I'm going to be speaking. I'm going to handle certain matters, what I'm going to do, what kind of skills I would acquire, what talents I have I'm going to bring out. I can now decide. I don't have to wait anymore, right? I don't have to follow the template. I can now decide. So I decided at that point, I said, okay, we're going to make a 180 now, not 360, because 360 goes back full circle. So it's a 180, right?
This.
Too
It is
important
180,
to
guys.
mention.
It is 180. It's not 360.
Yes,
360 will take you back to where you are coming from. Please.
yes, exactly where you're coming from. Is that when you come back late and they ask you, where did you go? Where are you coming from? Go back there. That's 360. So you're just going back to where you just came back from at 9 p.m.
180 is a U-turn. You guys,
Yes,
please.
yes,
Ah,
yes. 180 is a
I
year.
think I was crazy thinking about it.
So I had to do a 180, right? I said, okay, we're going to start, imbibing a new culture. We're only going to do this kind of things, speak this way, act this way, think this way. We're going to imbibe this mindset. These are the things. This is our new code, right? It's no longer going to be the template that has already been set. It's going to be the new code, which is self-determined. So what do I want? What do I like? What do I feel is right? What self-determined. Okay. And of course, you're piggybacking off of lessons that you've gotten, right? But it's self-determined. And so that was it for me. That was the pivotal moment, right? That year was very interesting. 2016, right? I had just finished one of life's templates, right? Secondary school. And okay, so you begin to ask, okay, so what's next in line in the template? You say, oh, so now this is the point in time when you go and apply for your So I say, oh no. So I just finished, a template,
Yeah.
right? So, but I saw somebody else going off script. Okay, going off script. I'm not saying dropouts now. Don't misquote me. Um,
Yeah.
life has the template is very very connected. So I also saw somebody else going off script by determining how they wanted to live life, right? And doing things when they needed to be done, when they believed it needed to be done, and not necessarily when life said you should do them, right? So that was exactly it for me, right? So some other person's experience triggered mine, and I do say so, right? That if you decide to live out your essence, I believe 100% that somebody would experience you and also make that decision and say, if this person can create this compelling of an experience, so can I. And I bet you they will. They will.
I don't know if it is the way you are saying this that makes it more convincing, or this is the calmness I've seen you speak. The calmness. Because usually you're spitting fire like a dragon. Like, you're still spitting value, but not with as much um power as you normally do. But it is seeping in. So the softness just makes it more like this sniper guns. I like action movies.
Right?
Yeah. These sniper guns, you don't hear them coming, but they
Yeah,
just
that's one time.
hit the target.
So, so,
Yes.
so I believe that the conversation was very delicate, and so I wanted to create an approach and an experience now that pulls everybody in, right, and feels as though we're whispering to each other, right?
You
So
successfully
that's
did that.
that's exactly the approach I was going with.
Yeah. And it's a different experience, and I love it. I love it. Thank you for letting us experience you like this. You see this word experience, it will suffer.
It must pay. It must pay. You go walk that salad.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Someone says this young man is quite a genius. Yes, I told you. Thank you so much, Uche.
Thank
Your
you, guys.
insights are so valuable. Thank you. So I have another question here,
Yes.
and that is, we are we are in an era that the world is becoming smaller. It's a global village now, and that has lots of ups, right? You can now reach people, can now see. I mean, it's because of the global village that you're able to see the person that triggered your
Yes.
experience, right?
Yes.
Um, so that is one of the ups. However, it has some downs too.
Yeah.
And at this point, we're not even talking about people who don't know what they want with their lives to do with their lives. I'm talking of people who want value, who want to live better, who want to make better choices. You know, when you kind of it's like when you become born again, you are hungry.
Yeah.
You want to eat as much. In fact, you can't even drop the Bible because I mean, all these insights you're getting, right? So someone who comes from darkness and is beginning to see the light of this. So there are some possibilities here.
Yeah.
So there are some better ways to live, to dress. There are
Yeah.
better ways I can live my life that will give me more satisfaction, right? So
Yeah.
getting that awareness, they start looking for models, right? People that they feel are living the way they would want to live. Okay. So you see them listening, you see them I don't know, are you still with me, okay?
Yes, I still am. Can you hear me?
Yes, your screen is kind of frozen. So just one minute.
Frozen. Oh, my
Yes,
bad. Uh, Apologies. That has to be probably my internet. Just give me one
okay.
second to fix.
It's still frozen. I don't know if it's from my end, but I'll just continue. Hopefully it's only from my end. Can I continue? Can you hear me there? Okay, so we shall, while we wait for him to get back, let's continue. I told you that okay is powerful. His words, his insight, his perspective, all unique. And isn't it interesting? Because these are kind of questions I've been asking the other people who have been on this show, the other guests, and their responses have been really interesting. One said essence is your life story, your story. So you're living your story every day. Um, Uke says it is your experience of the world and the world's experience of you. There's so many beautiful insights. And if I hadn't done my due diligence to bring these people on, we would have, if I had brought people who just copy what they say on the internet, we would just be eating the same thing over and over. Our guest is back. Welcome back.
Yeah, here.
Yes, we are. Okay. So I was saying that because of how hungry they are for growth, for development, right? They look for models, people who they feel are living the life that they want to live. I have people like that, right? But there is a caveat, and I think that's where essence comes in very well. So because they they behold these people so much, they are becoming them. And by becoming, I mean without thorough understanding of the models, experiences, paths, uniqueness, personality, skills, the things that have equipped them to
Yeah.
let the world experience them the way that they do. So without that understanding, they are trying to mirror the existence of that person without knowing whether that mirroring will fit into their unique experiences and what they are more inclined to do, right? And it's only Jesus that we are told to behold until we become like, not another human. So, how do intentional individuals behold I'm, I'm sure you get what I mean by behold now.
Yes.
How do they behold? And even if they want to become, they still will not lose touch of themselves. There will be those expressions of themselves that will still be able to experience their individuality, even as they, behold and try to um, um, get inspired by the
Yeah.
existence of another. Because it's a
Yeah.
very big problem where we are right now, and I think
It
it needs
is.
to be addressed. So
I would 100% agree. It is. And I think it's very critical for when, like you mentioned, right? When you're on the journey and you're trying to become something, you're trying to create a new experience out of life. Okay, it's very easy to fall into the trap of, oh, I've seen somebody doing exactly what I would like to do. And oh, what is he doing today? He's writing scripts. I write scripts on Monday too. Yeah, that could work. But a better approach is to realize that you are always working on you. It's a frame of mind that you have to step into. You are working on you. Nobody else matters. You get inspired to reverse engineer. You don't get inspired to copy. I don't even get inspired to model. I get inspired to reverse engineer. And so, what's reverse engineering? It's simply, again, revealing what's under the hood to work on you. Because from afar, the mirror is only showing you the outward look of things. It's not exactly showing you what's gone into the vessel, what's gone into the container. Yet you are supposed to fill your container such that it overflows and we can see an outward experience of you. So when you reverse engineer, what happens is you begin to ask critical questions. So instead of saying, I see that they wear black shirts and gray ties, there's something there. How much is black shirts and gray ties? I need five. It's supposed to be, why dress in a particular manner, right? Or maybe dressing is important. Maybe how I look is important. So what styles are unique to me? What styles would bring up or
yeah,
bring out
yeah,
my
yeah,
uniqueness? Would bring out a more beautiful experience of me? Okay, that's a better question, and that question can only come from reverse engineering. It can't come from modeling, because the model is to replicate,
yes,
right? It's to replicate a thing. Okay, so if you go with the model approach, it's an approach. It's an approach. However, I don't recommend this unless you're a comedian. Sorry, my bad. Unless you're an intending comedian. So if you are hoping to go into comedy, it works because you're actually like modeling, mimicking, right?
yeah,
However, if you're not really going into comedy, might want to pay attention to reverse engineering. So what did they do? What had to go into the container? Okay, what had to go into the container? Again, not so that you can do exactly that, but so you can pick out what works for you. Okay? Um, eh, because every path is very unique, every path is very different, every human is a different experience. And so, where I'm headed, is not exactly where you're headed. And so, even if you're inspired by me and you reverse engineer me and you're like, oh, he does this, he had to do that, yeah, that's great, but you don't exactly have to do every single thing that I did. It's not necessary. You know? And so if you do that from afar, what would you do when you're up close? When this person or people, you now begin to look at them as mentors and you get close and you're like, oh, just be duplicating everything. It's reading 5 times a day. I read 6 times a day. It's reading 12 times a year. I read 12 times a year. You just be getting accolades for copying and modeling, and well done. That's great. But
yeah,
why? There must be a why behind everything. There must be a why behind everything. And so that's why I recommend reverse engineering, because first of all, it shows you under the hood. And then you begin to pick your own tools of the trade. This person needed a 17-inch spanner to fix their car. Maybe yours is a 14-inch, albeit you need spanners to fix that particular problem. And so where there's a knowledge gap, yes, you have to seek education, but it doesn't have to be exactly what this person had to study, but it's education all the same.
Yeah.
So reverse engineering shows you what's under the hood. It gives you the tools of the trade. However, it's left for you now to mold yours. What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? The reason why you can reverse engineer people is because it's sort of a shortcut in a way. It gives you clarity of what's possible, right? And that's great. But what's possible is not exactly copy paste. Okay. If you're familiar with um, the relationship between Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, okay, the body of a lot of the internet, if you're familiar, one would wonder why Zuckerberg didn't just go ahead to create Windowsoft or WindowHard, right?
Yeah.
A computer company that also produces software for computers. But he's also a successful technology entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
another space. But
Yes.
can he not take lessons from Bill? Yes, he can. Oh, absolutely. But not everything is going to apply. Because if
Yeah.
everything is a model and copy approach, there would be no experience of you. There'll just be the Chinese version of you, because China is where we produce a whole lot. So you just be a production factory, right? We'll just be mass producing people's experiences for the world. And so it's not exactly the best approach, right? So a better approach, a smarter approach that I recommend is reverse engineering and picking your own tools, selecting your own tools, right? Choosing what exactly you want to form your arsenal. Because if I'm waging a war, right, to kill rats, and I'm waging a war to go after roaches, I wouldn't need to use the same kinds of tools,
Yeah.
right? With rats, I might need to have a heart-to-heart conversation like, bro, what you're doing is not fair. Okay. But with roaches, I don't need to have that conversation. I'm like, it's time to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's two different experiences, right? It's two different approaches. When you're going to war with the templates, the script, you're not going to fight your own battles with exactly the same tools that I did mine or I'm doing mine. No, we're going after two separate things. So reverse engineer, figure out what's under the hood, and then select. Select. Remember, I said you must always remain in the state of mind that says, I am working on me. And so all you should seek from everybody that you feel inspired by is tools to work on me,
Yeah.
not images to replicate.
Yes.
Tools to work on me. Tools to work on me. That's it. If you look for the tools to develop you, you become a unique experience. But if you look for images to replicate, then we just have yet another variant of the same product. And that's it.
That's it. Gen Zs will say, and that's a period. That's it. That's it. Ah, guys, should I continue? Should I continue? Can you take the
They
next
go just type
question?
yes.
If I continue asking you the questions that we had here, trust me, I don't think anybody would want to go. And I still will not, you know, for the next 3 hours, you will not even have covered what we have here because of the depth of your insight, right? So I will look through and see maybe two more questions to ask you. and then we'll call it a night. I'm certain that they just need to, if after this night you do not have something tangible to work with in your life, when you say village people, I'll say yes, that they are really after you. Because why won't you get the answer that you're looking for? Or um, the start of the answer that you're looking for? Because, I mean, it's not a very clear journey immediately. It gets
Yeah.
clearer as you go. So that's why the theme for the conference is the spark of reinvention. We just want to create that spark that if you fan the flame and allow it, it's going to blossom into something more beautiful, right? So the
Okay.
most that we can do is to create that spark so that you can, through the light of the others,
Mm.
get your own light. I love what you
Mm.
said about the person you met in 2016. It's kind of confirms this saying that when we live, we give others the permission to live. It's not like I'm permitting you to live,
Mm.
but you want to see possibilities,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if you don't live in your essence, you are robbing some other persons the possibility of living. The day I became more intentional about my existence was the day I discovered. I've been writing on Facebook all this while. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here. Hi,
Nancy.
Nancy.
That's another familiar face. Seeing her
Oh,
around. Not.
God.
Yeah. Good to have you. I see that name around.
You see that name around. Eh?
Yes,
I shall
I
not
see
save
that
you
name
for
around.
this time. I shall not save you. You're on your own. Hello, Nancy. I know you. I know this name. It's not familiar. I know you. Don't
Seems
worry.
familiar. Seems very familiar, if you ask me. Yeah.
I shall not talk. I did not hear this, Nancy. It was not on Essence that you heard it, right? Someone is coming for you too. Two people are coming for you. My hand no dey. Okay.
I stand by my actions.
So the day I became more intentional, I've always been very intentional though, but the day I made more intentional decision to leave was, I've been writing on Facebook, my thoughts. I'm this kind of person that just likes people to not worry, not feel down, find meaning in life. So I was always writing that. I didn't really understand what I was writing. In fact, my post from 2016, 2017, I did not understand the English I was speaking there, but I still knew it was valuable to somebody, right? So around 2017, ending of 2017, 2018, 2019, I was receiving messages from people who are like, um, because of you, because of a post you made, I gave up my decision to unalive. I don't want to mention the word, to
Hmm.
unalive myself. You know, because of your posts, I I am able to confront somebody whom I've been afraid to confront all this while. Because
Yeah.
of your content, I've been able to face myself. I've been able to ask myself some questions that I have been avoiding. Like, it's as if they were not living until they came across my content. And I mean, you know that I meet these people every single day. There's no day I leave the house that I don't meet up with 5 people, new people who know me, right? And they always say the same thing. Thank you for your content. They at the time that they met me, they were the light that they needed to see their paths. So imagine if I wasn't creating
Yeah.
this content.
Yeah.
They might still eventually find their way, but it will take a long time, a longer time.
Yeah. It will just take a longer time.
Okay, see another person that I know, but might be a familiar name to
Yeah,
you.
that's Joseph, right? Yeah, seems very familiar. Hi, Joseph. Same name, a lot of familiar people here today. Really interesting. Happy to have everybody, that familiar.
Familiar
Hmm.
names now.
Yeah, I'll do a bit of investigation afterwards to like see where the familiarity is coming from. But I see a lot of familiar faces today. Yeah,
It's in your
but
dream that you see the familiarity.
I'm glad that at least you know them. So maybe I would ask some deeper questions to really figure out the essence of why the familiarity is happening.
Like I said, I will not be there. It's in your dream, and I cannot save you.
I stand by my actions.
Oh God, lips sealed. Okay, what an interesting conversation it has been with you. This is really a conversation, right? Thank you so much. So, the next question I want to ask is, how do you balance the need for authenticity with the expectation and demands of the digital space of your industry? That is one. But a similar question will be, how can people manage the expectations of and the demands of their industry with them wanting to express themselves authentically? How do they manage that? Because
Mm,
sometimes it can be conflicting, especially when
yeah.
we are on this social media space, digital space. How can people manage living authentically and the demands of their industry, demands to prove a point and you know, feel like they're doing something worthwhile?
Yeah.
How do we get there? How do we strike that balance?
Mm. So it's a critical question. And the reason why it's critical is because you could make some very wrong decisions if you do not properly factor in the depth of that question, right?
Yeah.
And people will definitely have different ways they approach it. When it comes to managing the expectations of the modern day tools, right? That we're all engrossed in and doing your thing and showing up and creating an experience. The truth is, for me, I really don't strive for any balance. I'm sorry, I am not striving for any balance. If I want to be authentic in an expression, that's where I'm going to stay. I don't need your balance because you might be expecting me to always be available to do a certain thing that really I shouldn't be creating time for. And so I don't try to feel pressured by that. For instance, now, you start out and everybody is your friend, right? You get to a point where, like you said, you're making some progress, you're making some headway, you're shining your light, and all of a sudden the snark remarks begin to come in. Oh, he's now
Yeah.
busy. He's now doing that. He's now okay. Person, wait, this one we just make me they look, make me they see.
Yeah.
Be seen. It doesn't change anything because in the practical sense of things, I am living and you're not exactly a factor in that life, right? Your job is just to experience whatever I bring as an experience to you and not dictate to me. So I don't need your balance. I'm not striving for a balance. I'm just going to live out an experience. Of course, in the most positive light possible, but not so that I can create a balance for anybody, right?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, who are we kidding? Before the internet came along, did you know up to 50 people, per time?
Hmm.
So why are you expecting the modern world where the average person now knows 1,000 people and has 3,000 phone contacts to always be available to reply to your message at 2:59 a.m.? And then if
Yeah.
they don't, you tag them as having a sense of pride, having this or that,
Yeah.
so that you can solve your problem. It doesn't make any sense. If we didn't have this, there's no world where I'm probably going to even get to meet you, right? So I'm not going to try to create a reality that's not even real. If I walk into a space and there's 100 people, I cannot please 100 people. I can't even talk to 100 people. I can't
Yeah.
have a conversation with 100 people at a time. It's not possible. So that's why I don't strive for any level of balance. I just work on me, keep developing me, and bring out an experience for the world. And so if you're not comfortable with any version of my experience, you can apply with your feedback, right? And submit it for us to review, right? And of course, once we review it and we find that it's worthy of implementation of some sort, we'll make necessary adjustments when necessary. But that resolve is left to me, right? I don't kick off with trying to find the balance. I just kick off with trying to make my experience available. And so that's one area where you want to be very, very, like it has to be your least apologetic area,
Yeah.
because it can easily derail you when you begin to look at too many balances, work-life balance, this, that balance, digital this balance, balance.
And they
Spend
keep
more
coming.
time with you. They keep coming. They ain't going to stop.
Yeah. Yes.
They are not going to stop.
Yeah.
Life is going to keep sending you the templates. All right, it's 2024. Start caring about this. It's 2029. Start caring about this. These are the 3 new things you start caring about. Oh, yeah, start finding how do you have balance? Start caring about this. The world is now where you should be sleeping at 7. Start caring about this. It's too
Yeah.
much. Spend more time with yourself, right? And do so unapologetically. And bring us the very best of your expression. We're not saying be crazy. No, bring us your very best expression. But you must know that
Yeah.
it cannot work for everybody. So you trying to find the balance is you essentially, I see it as you trying to please the templates, right? Trying to please a system, trying to please, a thing. Who really can find that balance?
Yeah.
If you did, or if you could, your 24 hours will be so compartmentalized into that balance. You would sleep for 6, do this other thing for 6, and do that thing for 6. Oh, come on. Don't we sleep 9 hours sometimes? Don't we just do nothing and chill for like 3 hours? Don't we just go and do some work for like 8 hours? Don't we just do
Yeah.
what we. So don't strive for what's not practical. It's not, right? All you care about is my experience coming out into the world in the best possible light? Because there's no judge and jury of any level of balance, because
Yeah.
it's an illusion.
Yeah.
So how do you know when you've achieved the balance? Where's the score ticker? Great, it's a goal. 1-1, 0-0, 2-2. There's a balance. Who's counting? Who's keeping score? Right? The goalpost is always going to keep changing, because today the world wants
Yeah.
this from you, and tomorrow it wants the other thing. But the second you block out all of that noise, because it's not practical, and you just decide on curating the best experience of you possible, then you have true leverage. Because there's a million and one things to balance, right? If we want to go down that road. So I don't even begin that journey at all. I just keep working on me. What do I want to express this week to the world? I do that. What do I want to create time for this day? I do that. What do I want to? I do that. What do I want to? What do I?
Yeah.
There's no, what would seem like a balancing act. This is not an account. My life is not a financial statement.
Yes. Yes.
It's what I choose, right? All we're just trying to say is make sure it's the right choice, because it's not going to be the right choice to everybody. That's why it has to be the right choice
And so once it is, every other thing is frankly, at a lower level of relevance. You know. So that's how I look at it. That's how I look at anything balance related in the world. I don't ever look for any balance because I would keep failing. That's where my imperfection comes in. I'll keep failing at it. And so why keep failing when I can just turn all of that switch off and make it a win, right? By just doing it from I only have one perspective. All those TikTok videos, POV. POV, this is me, it's my life. There's no POV where plus this person's POV and that person's POV and what is the POV? It's one perspective.
Yes.
Exactly, my bro. My life is not a balance sheet, man. It's not a financial statement. I'm not trying to balance nothing. There's no assets and liabilities, minus credits and debits. There's just me. There's just me.
Yeah.
It's just me. If I want to be on my phone for 2 hours, I'll be on my phone for 2 hours and I'm off. There's no, it has to be 3.68 hours a day. After that, drink water for 2.4. I will get tired. I can't keep up. There's a lot. So I don't even begin the journey at all. I just stay in the lane of self-improvement, self-development as a constant. As a constant, right? As a constant, picking the healthy habits out of life, the healthy, creating the healthy culture, right? That's what you have control over. By the time you start seeking what you don't have control over, you derail yourself faster because you now begin to beat yourself up for things that don't make any sense. For instance, is it good to probably have a particular way of doing it, starting your day every single time? Yes. It probably helps build a good culture and all of that. But does it mean that you start feeling like you're not making progress in life just because the first thing you did in the morning was not drink water? Come on. Come on. There's too many things that they've told us to do in the morning as the first thing. Right? Some say drink water, some say pray, some say stretch. How many first things do you really want to do? Right. So the question then now becomes, what's the best thing for me?
Yes.
What's the best thing for me? What gets me out of bed sharper? Of all these options, the question is not what's the balance. Oh, Monday I'm going to drink water. Tuesday I'm going to pray. Wednesday I'm going to exercise just so that I do it all. I balance it all out. It's what's the best thing for me. What's the best thing for me? So I believe if there's any line that answers that question, anything balance related, just ask yourself, what's the best thing for me? If you ask about the balance, it's the best thing for them. But what's the best thing for me? Solves your own immediate need. So I hope that helps.
And this question will not be, there will be no answer to this question, so there is an awareness. That's where it starts.
Yes.
Okay. You are whoever you say you are.
Naham.
Thank you. So to ask you the last question before the last question. To ask you the penultimate, this is the last question that I want to ask you for this conversation. But I have another last question. So my question goes like this. Takes me back to those days in primary school and in church. We'll be like, I have a special number, and the title of my special number is the title of my presentation is. Or in church when you want to give when you want to give a testimony, you be like, my testimony goes like this.
Like this. Well, yes.
Okay, you have
Yes.
shared so much, but I really love to know what, maybe in 2 minutes, what is the legacy you want to leave as a result of you living through to your exits?
Mm. So I believe that the answer to this question would keep evolving with time. So as of today, that would simply be that he lived, but because he lived, his experiences gave life to things. So deep down, I believe that I strongly, not just believe, you cannot convince me even if you tried, but try that I was created to create, right? And so at every point in time, my mind would remain restless if it cannot pinpoint one thing that I created or was a part of its creation that impacted the world. So that's why I don't take anything at surface level because there's a stronger pull. There is a stronger
Yeah.
pull. And that pull is summarized into you life. Because going back in history, give essence to things, give a reason to things. And so I tap into that same power and I see a thing and I give it a name, right? Oh, Adam, what's the name of that? Name that. And it's like, oh, that's a goat. So when I see a computer, I don't see a regular computer. I see something, I personalize it. So when I see things, I personalize them. I personalize them so that I can make use of them to make other things, to give life to other things, such that other people would see those things too and personalize them and have meaning out of them. So that's exactly the deep sense that I have right now about myself and um, the legacy that I hope my life is able to spin, as it progresses. And so at different points, there would be slight and major improvements upon it. But as of today, this is the biggest pool. That's why I don't treat myself secondary. I don't treat myself at surface level. I treat it as an entity that exists deeply within an essence, right? And that's why I believe, and that's why the approach I came with today, reflects exactly how well I hold, the regard I have for this conversation because it's it's a depth, it's a deep conversation. It's a it has a depth of experiences, of words, of things wrapped into one. And so you can never really fully explore it all, but going through it brings so much meaning.
Yeah.
So there's no job, there's no gig, there's no business, there's nothing that I do at surface level. Simply because I'm gonna have to ask myself a question. You were given life. What did you give life to? And so I must be a part of creation
Yeah.
in that value chain. So yeah, that's what it is today.
It is what it is. I particularly like that you said um, this response will continue to evolve over time because at every point in time we 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 experience the world, and the world experiences us based on how much exposure we have. We make decisions, we put out mandates based on our limited exposure, because it's always going to be limited. It's never going to be full. Like, how much can you know? But you
Yeah.
know, this might not have been the response you would have given 5 years ago, um,
Yeah.
and it may not be the response you will give. Maybe a modification, not exactly, but a modification, because it's evolution. Evolution does not really change what is, but
Yeah.
makes modifications, right? So in the next 15 years, if I ask you this question, I would expect a modified
Yeah.
version of this response. And that kind of shows that you are growing. I think it
Yeah.
was Charles Awuzie who said that if it is all you know, if what you know last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago is all you know now, if your belief 10 years ago is still the same belief, no change, nothing, now, sorry, you're not growing, you're not grown. You are stagnant, right? Because it's supposed to add new knowledge, make modifications.
Yeah.
That's how you show that you are an evolving human being, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing from your depth. It's almost 2 hours and it doesn't even feel like it. Can you believe it? Thank you so much, Uke. So before I ask you my last question, I'd like to take this time to invite everyone watching to the Essence Conference, which is 1st of June 2024. You can imagine if this is how the pre-conference conversations are.
Sign up.
Yes, if this is how the pre-conference conversations are, you can't even start to imagine what the conference itself is going to be, right? We put together a stellar lineup of speakers. We have Gochukwu Mob. Let me show you. Let me show you who people are going to be there.
So I'm going to run over Chinaza real quick. She just said that
Okay.
she put together a lineup of speakers. Don't get her wrong. Oh. What she's really saying is she's put together a wealth of experiences. That's what we're talking about today. And so today is one person. June 1st is people. It, you can't quantify it. You can't even value it. You can't. It's invaluable, right? It's invaluable. So it's a wealth of experiences wrapped up as Ugochukwu Emeogu, John Obidi, Adirine Dewo, Salem King. It's a wealth of experiences. I'm not missing it for anything. I don't care who's inspired by me. That's you. That's on you. You're the one that's supposed to be inspired. I'm seeking more. That's completely on you. Has nothing to
Yeah.
do with me. I'm going for more. And so all I can do is invite you. Take my hand. Let's be going. June 1st. We cannot miss it. That's two of us. We can't miss it.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. I mean, you can't miss this for anything. You cannot. The
Even
speakers.
if you try to miss it, it won't work for you. Just thought to put that out there. In case you might want to try.
Yeah. So you can register. We have three ticket tiers. We have the standard ticket, which is 5,000
You
naira.
can't register.
Comes with
You must register. Yeah.
we have the 5,000 naira. This gives you access to the event, right? You just want to come and learn. 5,000 naira. You still get the event recording. Now, this is usually with the event I've attended. Access to event recording are usually given to the most exclusive ticket tier, right? Because you can't gain everything at once. Even if you were there from morning till night, there's some information you would need to go back and get again. You need to rewatch. You need to so that because and when people are talking like this, it is easy to miss some points and then you think you grasp everything. I learned this by recording some of my lectures. I'm like, when did he say this? When did he? But I was very present. No, you can't speak everything, right? So with the event recordings, you know that you are you're going to be getting every single thing. You cannot tell them when they are speaking now to sorry, go back. No.
Mm.
With the event recordings, you can rewind, you can fast forward, you can do as many things as you want. You can even pause and just sit with that insight that you just got, right? So this gives you access to the event and event recordings. My friend was like, "Are you even mad for even including this ticket tier, adding this to the ticket tier?" So I just want people to get value. Okay, that's the most important thing to me. Then we have the 15,000 naira ticket, which is the premium ticket. This gives you access to the events, the recordings, conference material like your jotter, and Dear Young One, which I will be launching on that day, is the second edition of this book. The first version was 28 letters. This one has 32 letters. I added four new letters to it, and you know, it is the edition that I would take even to Asu Rock to the White House and tell them this is my book because of how much work I did to it. And I'm partnering with Warren
Yeah.
to bring this in, so you're certain that you are getting a book that is of world class, right? So that is away from the contents of the book alone. You see how I'm talking, you're reading the book, you almost feel like I'm sitting beside you and talking to you, right? It doesn't have this, because it's their young one, doesn't mean that it is for teenagers. I'm young, okay, is young. If you are less than 30, if you are 35, you are young, unless you want to identify as an old person. So but if you identify as a young person, this is a book you want to get. You want to get it on its own, you can buy it separately. But if you register for the conference, it's a complimentary additive for you.
Yeah.
Then we have the Essence Bootcamp, which is coming up on the 2nd of June with Mr.
I think you should
Gochukwuomo.
show them the flyer so they know the people that are coming.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have the 50,000 naira ticket, which is the gold ticket. It is for the Essence Boot Camp, and Mr. Gochukwuomo will be our trainer for that day. If you have ever heard Mr. Gochukwuo talk, hmm, you will understand what I'm talking about. You will be soaked in value. And Essence Boot Camp is a practical hands-on session. It's not an event. It's a training, a workshop that you know the questions you'll be giving there, the exercises, you'll be getting your answers right there and then, right? So you come with, oh, I'm not certain, and then you leave with a certain degree of certainty to continue. Of course, it's still the spark of reinvention, but the spark will be enough to um, burn if you fan the flame, right? So that is it for the SS conference. I cannot wait to see you there. So if you want to register, just head on to www. I always find it funny saying that www. Just go to look at it down there on the screen, just moving here and
Yes.
there. Don't go to www.snsconference.com to get your tickets. If you'd rather pay through transfer because it's Nigeria. Some Nigerians don't trust on these online platforms. Don't give them their cards. So if you'd rather pay through transfer, pay into um, these details showing on your screen there. And then I forgot to add that if you're a group of five and above, you get 10% off the total registration fee for your group. And all of you still get your respective benefits in your categories. Right. So if you have a group of five, why pay individual when you can pay as a group and save some cost? Right. All of these are ways to get you to be a part of this conference because it is seen as a favor, of course, duh. And I want you to experience this transformation, this revolution, this revival that is coming your way on the 1st of June. So where do you make your payments to? Pay into these details showing on the screen here and send your proof of payment to tickets.essence@gmail.com. Once your payment is confirmed, you'll be given the link to our exclusive WhatsApp group for those who have made the decision to reinvent themselves, right? To seek a higher expression of themselves. I cannot wait to see you there, right? Thank you very much for being here. So, okay, to the final question that I have for you. We have a custom here where our speakers leave questions for the next guest without knowing who the guest is going to be. So
Mm.
our previous guest left a question for you that I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
But before I ask you, I'd like you to drop a question for her or for him. We
The
don't know
next
what
guest.
gender is going to be there. So
Okay.
I have my pen and my notebook.
I like that. Hmm. Okay. So, if there was a question I'd love for another speaker to address,
Okay.
it would be, why must I live in my essence?
Hmm.
Because it feels bold for us to come out and say Essence 2024, and we want everybody and their grandmoms to be at Essence 2024.
Yeah.
I think it would be really interesting to break down why do we as a collective have agreed that this is important and this is the time for it. So why really should I mean, yeah, why?
Duly
Essentially, man.
noted. Now I'm going to ask you yours.
Yeah.
So our previous guest wants to know what has been the most challenging aspect of embracing your authenticity.
All the challenges are just coming to my head now. Like, which one is the most challenging? Which one get mine pass? I'm trying to try. Is it? Let's see. Uh, okay, so there's a lot of them. Honestly, we want to talk about challenges. We could speak about them for days, right? But I think one that stands out for me is too many voices. That's something that I struggled with initially. Too many voices. Letting too many voices into your head. I mean, for me, it's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I found that it's too many voices, too many people to listen to. It's too many people to. I don't even get inspired these days because it's just too much, right?
Yeah.
So, too many voices can be can yeah, if not managed right, could derail you. So the day I decided to pick a focus, I'm going to spend more time consuming this person, these two people, these three people. I moved at a faster pace,
Yeah.
right? But there was a time when I was trying to listen to everybody, what they had to say, how they did their own thing, and I wanted to
Yeah.
factor in pieces and pieces and pieces and pieces and pieces. So too many voices. That was a challenge at the time. I since learned how to navigate through that, and so a lot of times I like to keep certain things that I'm impressed. I don't graduate it to I'm inspired before my mind will begin to say, oh yeah. So yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can never run out of brilliant people. You can never run out of naysayers. You can't run out of both sides. There's a lot.
Yeah.
So just pick, niche down, keep the voices small, the number of voices small, so that you can listen and hear more and move faster. Yeah.
So you can even hear yourself.
So you can even hear yourself. Love that.
I have no words. This has been beautiful. I dare to say this is one of the most heartwarming conversations I've had of this series.
It's a pleasure.
I don't know what I was expecting. I know what I was expecting. I was expecting lots of value, which you gave, but I was expecting juju. I mean, I've heard you speak several times, and that is the energy you always have. Hey, God of mercy. Okay, we'll set this whole place on fire. Let it burn. But the different aspects of you that you brought today is just so interesting and makes the conversation sober, but really hitting.
Mm.
Right? It touched so many points. And I'm so glad that we have a few persons to learn from the wealth of knowledge. Thank you for choosing to do this with me. I know how valuable your time is, but you chose to do this to share. So we really
Of
appreciate
course.
it. Please, what do we say to Uke before he goes? What do we
Tell
say?
me that you will see me June 1st. Tell me you see me June 1st. That's the one I want to hear. Yes.
Right,
Because me, I will
right.
see you. Even if you think you'll be at home, I will still see you. Then when I now see you there, you will now come out to June 1st. So
We'll
better tell me
see
now
you.
that you see me.
He has told you what he wants to hear. Anthony said
Yes.
this conversation was so sensational. Lucy says it really is heartwarming. Yes, it's
Mm.
impeccable. Ijoma, hi sis.
IG.
Ijoma is going to be speaking at the Essence conference. Have you heard her speak? Ijoma speaks just the same way Uke spoke today. Ijoma is very soft spoken, but every single thing she wants to say, she must finish it. And it will hit you when she wants it to hit you. Ijoma is amazing. Thank you so much for all that you are to me and to the world. Thank you for letting me experience you. This experience, I told you, okay, it's going to suffer in my heart.
You
Thank you
told
for
me
letting
you did.
me
I remember that.
experience you. Thank you for letting us experience it the way you let us. Thank you. And Anointed Ike said, thank you so much for just it's my honor, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. He says I will see you. Very good.
Hey, now
Very
you
good.
come.
Now we
I'll
can
see
share
you
the
too.
grace.
Yes.
Thank you, Uke. Let me let you go.
Thank
Good
you
night.
for having me. It's been a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you. How do we connect with you, you know, outside here?
Okay. So outside of this platform today, the number one platform where you can connect with me is at the Essence Conference happening June 1st, 2024. Starts at 9 a.m., runs till about 3, 4 p.m. It's an amazing experience. You have to be there. That's the number. That's my current social media platform. Me, I know they do all these Instagram, Twitters. I am at Essence. Follow me on Essence. Essence Conference Lagos Live 2024, June 1st. That's where I'm gonna be at. I need to see you there. I will see you, whether you want to see me or not. Me, I will see you. So if you want to follow me there. That's what we're going to. It's 2 weeks out. Don't come alone or that I they go conference. Who will you now snap with? No, 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 no. Who do you think you will snap
Who
with?
will I
Because we
snap
will put
with? You
banner.
said
Do you understand?
yes.
You put banner. So what do you mean? You now come. Okay, who will hold phone for you? Who will you give bag and say, help me hold bag? So I don't know what you're doing. I need to see you and a friend. That's where you follow me, right? So that's the first platform to follow me. Every other platform is irrelevant until June 1st. After June 1st, I'll tell you where to follow me next. But for today, follow me to June 1st. As you see me like this, I'm on my way to Ikeja, Unilag. Because I know that it will take me time to complete that journey. So I'm moving. I know that you cannot meet me halfway. if I start moving out from Shango to Edo, if you see me. So just wait. June 1st, we shall see. All right. So you will see me, I'll see you. If you don't want to see me, I'll see you, and you will leave your house. And you will not leave that house with only you, because somebody must hold your bag and your phone. So come with somebody.
And you must hold somebody's bag and phone as
And you
well.
must hold somebody's bag and phone. What do you mean? Right?
Yes.
So please, guys, that's the only place, that's the only social media I do these days. That's my website. That is the place to be. Essenceconference.com. Okay? Add www. If you don't want to add www, put https://essenceconference.com. Get your tickets, buy for yourself, buy for your friend. I will be there. You will see me. I will see you. If you don't want me to see you, I will see you, and you leave your house and you come with somebody. God bless you all. See you June 1st, 2024.
Let's share the grace. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. Good night, okay. Good night. What a guest. Y'all, you've heard it. You want to meet him, you want to connect with him, come to Essence. Uke is somebody, anyway, you've heard him speak, but this is just a glimpse of the value that he brings to the table. Told you he's the founder of Go Nomad. Um, that is not an easy feat in any way, from any perspective you look at it, through any lens you look at it. It is not easy. It is not an easy task. It's not an easy position, but Uke has, cracked the code for global dominance. And you want to connect with him. But he told you if you want to connect with him, the easiest way, you want him to listen to you, want to pay attention to you, just come to Essence Conference and he will easily attend to you. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I am duly sorry that this is almost 10 p.m. It's supposed to end by 9 p.m., but I came almost an hour late and it's offshoot to this time. But you're still here, and that shows that you really got the value from this night. If you've not shared this video, um, the replay will be on YouTube, so you can share the link on YouTube. You can copy the link from YouTube and share with your audience and with your network and get them to join. And also, I mean, why are you not spreading word for the Essence Conference? Why are you the only one who knows about it? Why are you not telling your people, your village people, your exes and excesses? Yeah? Let them come. Let them come and learn about themselves, their essence. Let everyone that live fully. If they do live fully, you will not be dragged. You will not be, there will be no room for bad blood, no room for bitterness and all that. Everyone will be fine, even financially, because I mean, how do you build a castle on a sinking sand? It doesn't make sense. The foundation will not even stand, right? So your essence is number one. If you don't know it, if you don't live fully in it, you will not be able to achieve the kind of life you want to achieve for yourself. So I've done the work by by bring you know bringing these people to speak to you, to share their insights with you. The least you can do is to get your tickets and be at the conference. The second least you can do also is to tell people about it and get them to be a part of the conference taking place on the 1st of June. It is just 2 weeks away. I cannot wait to see you there. All right. Good night, everyone. And thank you for joining and for staying back. Anointed Ikedi, Okoye Joma Dicta, Lucy Chibike. Who else? Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Okay, these are the people that I can easily see right now. It's good to have all of you here. Thank you. I'll see you on Sunday. Like I said when I started this session, the Essence Pre-Conference conversations will be taking place this period on Thursdays and Sundays. Before it was every Sunday, but now we have added, I mean, the plan has always been in May, we'll have Thursdays and Sundays as well. So Sundays and Thursdays as well. So today is our first Thursday. Then we have on Sunday with another phenomenal guest. I don't know who the person is, but we'll see on Sunday. Then on Thursday next week, We have another guest on Sunday next week. We have another guest, right? It's going to be amazing. You see how beautiful this was? The next, I told you it gets better, right? The next guest is even coming with, I wouldn't say deeper wisdom, but you know, even more insights that you can glean and live a life of essence. I hope to see you on Sunday by 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and I hope you have a very wonderful night's rest. Good night. Go get your ticket. Go get your tickets.